According to several of the league's coaches, international players have closed the gap with the USA's top talent. Looking beyond the borders of the U.S. has brought a different style and discipline to the game. In the American alone, 15 players have come to the United States for an education and to live out their college basketball dream. These players come from across the globe, from Australia to Spain to Eastern Europe, just to name a few.
We've actually got 3 international players on our team, and we've had international players in the past, but Milena comes to us from Montenegro, and I've never coached I guess we call that Eastern European, and she has a very strong appreciation for being in the United States. She's a very good listener, she's a very good teammate, very appreciative of the opportunity. She also is a classic Eastern European in that the player can pass, she can handle it, she cuts the floor. Very, very different upbringing basketball-wise than our American players.
There's a lot more fundamentals work, there's a lot more teaching and not as many, the exposure events and how many games they play a day, and it's just a different way of doing things. I think the level of basketball and the level of teaching that those guys are getting over there is a lot different than what we're doing here grassroots-wise. And if we get the best kid from Spain, best kid from Portugal, best kid from Latvia, that's a top 25 recruit here. For us to shorten the gap between the top 10, top 15 programs, and for us to be that, I think it's a strength for us.
We support each other, like we're from different countries and we're experiencing the same thing, so we can help each other. And the upper classmates can help the freshmen because they've already been through the adaptation phase. It was a little bit hard in the beginning. I wasn't used to my role in the USF team, but I played the minutes, so I mean it's basketball. You just have to put the ball in the basket. But yeah, it's pretty much the same exercises.
It's interesting. Our 6'5" player from Australia, Stephanie Collins, she joined us last year in the middle. She joined us in December. She came over. She was here, flew from Australia, was here 2 days, and literally was thrown on the court in a tournament at St. John's. Didn't even know all the names of her teammates. And she's out there playing. And I kept saying to our coaches, I wish we could have coached her from the beginning because she missed all the teaching part. She is, I think she's probably one of the most improved players right now, and I think she's going to be somebody. She's not a huge scorer, but she's a presence in the paint, and I just think she's somebody that the opposing teams are going to have to contend with.
My hometown's Townsville, so I've been a part of that club since I was about 14, the WNBL team, so I've mixed the professional athletes. And then I moved down to Canberra and I was a part of the Australian Institute of Sport for my past 2 years before I moved over here. So I've been at some highly touted clubs in Australia, and I think that really helped. In Australia, people call me Afrol, obviously my first initial and first part of my last name, and then my sister's Kfrol. But Americans have trouble pronouncing it. So I've kind of just been Alicia here. I think last year at the start I didn't have a period that I needed to adjust. They do call fouls a lot tighter, especially playing internationally. This past summer, I could be a lot more physical compared to what it is here. So it's really just adjusting to different styles of play really, and it's what good players can do, and that's something I try and do, and hope I don't get fouled off too often, so I think I'm doing okay at it.